what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the animated film The Grinch. Now this is based on the Dr. Seuss story, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and this is yet another adaptation of that particular story because they had like the one from like the 60s, that where everybody is like familiar with, the animated one. Then they also have like the live action 2000 version, which had Jim Carrey in the role of the Grinch, because this is the particular version I have over to like that film, which had Jim Carrey in the role, and it was directed by Ron Howard. Now I thought this film was pretty good, I know a lot of people I think didn't like it, but I actually thought this was pretty good, And of course I saw like the first version, like the 1966 animated version, and that was pretty good too. That's the one I think most people are very familiar with. But yeah, this is just basically like another adaptation of the that story, which is written by Dr. Seuss. Now it does turn out to be pretty good, but I think what kind of makes it kind of like flawed to a certain extent is like the story has been already told, and I know they only had like 3 film adaptations of the story. But at the same time, I just feel like, they've done this before, like you've seen it before and they've done it again, just like in another version. But in that though, it still turns out to be a pretty entertaining film. It's like funny, and the animation of course is like superb. Now you have Benedict Cumberbatch providing the voice of the Grinch in this particular version. Now it's also directed by Scott, I think Mosier, I think that's how you pronounce it. Their name, Yaro Shani, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's directed by 2 people. But the film itself, like I say, if anything, it stays true to the story. Now there are like elements in it that I think was kind of like different from what were actually in the actual story, the Dr. Seuss story. I think they added some new stuff to it, if I'm not mistaken. It still sticks to like the actual story of the Grinch wanting to ruin like the people of Whoville. He wants to ruin their Christmas, because he's obsessed with like just ruining Christmas basically. He never really did enjoy Christmas. He never had a good Christmas, because it has like the flashback to when he was like a kid and so on. You can see what happened to him and why he feels that way about Christmas and so on. So he wants to ruin like the people of Whoville. He wants to ruin like their Christmas celebration. So he wants to like steal everything and just take the tree, all the presents and everything, just ruin everything, So that plot is still kind of the same, to how it always was, You get to see why he's like, like upset and like mean and like evil, Not really evil, he's just like a very just like grouchy type person, which is like funny, because it's like moments in the film, just like in the previous versions where you can see him like walking around like throughout the town, or whenever he's just home, he just seemed like so grouchy and like mean. And it's like funny, He also has like his dog known as Max with him too as well. Just like in the storyline, the usual story. Now this particular version has like a narration by Pharrell. Like Pharrell is like providing like the narration for the story as it goes along. Pharrell Williams, he's actually providing like the narration. I thought he was okay with it. It was pretty decent. It's like a lot of the characters, well not a lot of them, but quite a few of them really kind of stood out this time. Like you have Cindy Lou Who, and she's voiced by Cameron Seeley. She's like a young resident of Whoville. And like just a spoiler alert, she's kind of the one that kind of turns like the Grinch, around, at the last minute, and he decides to actually like, return everything, And you also have Donna Lou who is like her mother, who's like overworked, and everything. She seems happy, but you can tell she has like a sad side, and she's like depressed at times, And she's voiced by Rashida Jones. Also have Angela Lansbury. She provides like the voice of Mary McGurk. I think that's how you pronounce it. She's like the mayor of Whoville. And you also have Kenan Thompson as Bricklebaum, and he's like a citizen of Whoville. Now his character even stood out too as well, being that he's like a Caucasian character, but the voice you could tell is like an African American, So I thought that was kind of interesting, that they had like an African American like provide a voice, So I thought that was cool. Now those are the characters that really kind of like stood out. Now there's a couple other ones, but I'm not going to touch on them. Then you have Max the dog, who is played by Frank Weller. But Max didn't really, say anything like that, But it's very similar to how he is like in the stories, like the other versions, But overall, like I say, the film itself, I feel like it's like you've been there, like done it before, it's just something about it, that's kind of that was like the flaw of the film, for my opinion. I feel like it's, like they already done it, it wasn't really a need for them to do it again. But the animation of it, of course, is superb, and that's really the main reason why, I can see why they really hit and did this again, because the look of the film, of course, is like just superb, and the animation they have in it is awesome, and there's like a lot of humor, it's like funny, like the Grinch himself is funny, and I thought Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch, I thought he was pretty good in the role, like the voice, that he provided, I thought was pretty excellent, But overall, in the end, the Grinch, I would definitely recommend this for like fans of like the How the Grinch Stole Christmas storyline. I'll definitely recommend it for that crowd. So I'm giving this film like I'm giving this a B minus, and that's my review for the Grinch. Please leave a comment. Oh yeah, another thing too, I thought like the soundtrack for the film was like pretty good. It had a lot of awesome songs in it. Which I thought were awesome too as well. The music was just pretty decent. I liked it. Like a lot of the songs they had in it was awesome. Like the hip hop, the R&B songs I thought were pretty cool. But I'm giving this film a B minus. Please leave a comment and subscribe to it as well.